and often they can turn a bad situation around with good policing and the right attitude. But it seems that this cop forgot all of his training except for one specific part. Sergeant Police had been with the Sunrise Police for 20 years and was about as experienced an officer as you could get, which makes his actions during an arrest in November 2021 even more confusing. When he arrived on the scene, he found his fellow cops in the middle of a struggle.
No, he doesn't want in the car. Get in the car. Get in the car. All right, I'm getting in. Get your feet in.
The suspect had been arrested on Sunset Strip after being accused of punching another man, and officers are trying to get him inside the patrol car. But the suspect isn't playing ball. So Sergeant Police decides his 20 years of experience is enough to allow him to push other officers aside and take charge.
Hey, look at me. Look at me. Look at me. You want to play games? You're playing with the wrong mother. What you gotta do, man? You gonna mace me? Look at me, mother.
The suspect decides to comply when the extremely aggressive officer steps in, and you'd think that'd be where the story ends. But for some reason, police just gets angrier and angrier until one noble cop decides that they just can't stand by and watch any longer.
You ever get disrespectful with my officers, I will remove your soul from your body. Do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. No.
Police had to have been having a horrible day, as it was his threats to remove the suspect's soul from his body that prompted the young female officer to pull him back. This clearly angered him even further, leading to him grabbing her by the neck. This was not only illegal and a huge overreaction, but it was also terrifying for the rookie on the receiving end.
We clear? Yes, sir. And I'll see you in about 5 minutes. Can you stop pulling the hands off my wrist? Holding my face like I'm running somewhere. I'm right here.
Police was eventually charged with felony battery of a police officer, which comes with a heavy punishment. Predictably, he decided to retire from the Sunrise Police in November 2022, and as of this video's upload, his case is still ongoing. This is just one of many examples of how cameras are essential to police work, but it turns out cameras are not only used to help catch criminals, to catch dummies in the act. This is the dash cam from a man in Seabrook, Texas. He has just been pulled over by a patrol car and decides to turn his own camera towards him to record the action in all its corrupt glory.
Roll down? Why do you pull me over?
I'll tell you that if you roll it down.
Why can't you tell me now?
Because the reason I pulled you over is you were yelling something on the car.
So what?
Huh?
So what? That's why you pull me over, because I'm
I
yelling?
don't know if you're in need of help or anything.
Oh, I don't need help. Thank you.
Let me see your driver's license real quick.
I don't need help.
You might be wondering why the driver is being so defensive. It all started a few seconds earlier when the driver yelled an expletive at the officer from his vehicle. Despite this not being illegal, the officer decided to follow him, and when the driver signaled to turn, he was pulled over.
It's already cracked.
I can't see that.
Well, it doesn't matter. Here. I don't wish to answer questions.
You have to let me know if there's a weapon in the car. Did you not take a class?
I did.
So you get to tell them it's
When you demand identification, I have to display this. That's what they told me in the class. That's what the law says.
There are two major mistakes that the officer has already made. Firstly, he claimed he had pulled the driver over for shouting out of his car window, but then claimed to have pulled him over to check if he was mentally okay. Most people know that free speech is protected under the First Amendment, and passively yelling curse words is completely legal in America. But when the driver challenges this, the officer suddenly changes his story and claims he pulled him over for making the turn. The turn was perfectly legal, making this stop completely unnecessary for a totally different reason. Luckily, the driver is well aware of this and lets this dumb cop show himself up on his dash cam for the whole world to see.
Do I smell alcohol in your breath?
No, you don't.
How do I know?
Because you can't smell my breath?
I smell something coming
Oh,
out.
really?
Let's see. Let me do some field sobriety.
I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, where are you coming from?
Huh?
Where are you coming from?
You saw me where I was coming
Oh,
from.
I saw you driving down.
Are you done with this?
I'm done with that, yeah.
All right, cool.
Where are you coming from?
I don't answer questions. I've already told you. Let me know when I'm free to go. Also, what is your name? Your name? Sheriff, that's your name? Sheriff? I'm not familiar with the English alphabet, sir. Okay, can I have an incident number, please? Oh, a ticket, okay.
Now the cop is playing hardball and refusing to give the driver his name. But once again, this cop is completely incorrect, as Texas law requires an officer to provide their identification when asked by a member of the public.
While I have you here, okay? I don't want you exiting the vehicle because you have a weapon in the car.
Did I exit the vehicle? Did I exit the vehicle?
Give you a heads up.
Did I exit the vehicle? Hey, can I? You do have a dash cam, right? Very good. You can't just pull me over because I said the police. I hope you realize that, stupid.
Take your current address, 1622.
Is that a question?
Yes, sir. Is that your current
Do
address?
I answer questions?
Okay, I'll just assume that's incorrect then.
And why would you do that? Did you read my address on the driver license?
It didn't have an address. It didn't have an apartment number on your driver's
Of course it does.
Let me see. Can you verify?
You have already seen it. I've already complied with that part.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Yeah, I say that I've never met anybody quite like you that would yell at an officer doing their job. But
So,
you have a great
let me
life. No
understand.
warnings, no fines, no penalties.
May I ask you a question?
You can see by the body language of the officer just how defensive he's become over having his authority challenged. He's tried every trick in the book to try and outsmart this driver, but nothing's working, leading to the worst mistake of the whole interaction.
Questions on there? There's the address.
Yeah, no, I have a question. Can you get your supervisor here, please? Is the stop over?
The stop is over. You may leave.
All right.
You don't exit until I get out. Go on.
Well, you said the stop is over, right? Okay, I'm not getting out. I will. Okay, there is no need to draw your weapon, man. Are you drawing your weapon? I didn't get out of the car. You told me that already. A warning? For what? Failed to signal with turn indicator within 100 feet.
When the officer said the traffic stop was over, he also ordered the driver to stay inside his car, which he complied with. You have to wonder whether this cop can get anything right. And after this stop was over, the driver filed a complaint and is also due to file a lawsuit. If you thought that cop was clueless, these next two
on a townhouse door, allegedly with a gun in his waistband. When he arrived on the scene, Officer Dukes immediately drew his gun and ordered 58-year-old disabled man Clarence Gaillard and his cousin Mario Julian, who were standing in the parking lot outside the townhouse, to the ground.
Hey, let me see your ass. Bert, get on the ground. Get on the ground. Get on the ground right here. Get on the ground. You, Bert, you sharp, get on the ground. Over here. On the ground. On the ground. Get on the ground. Do you not listen? Get on the ground.
Mr. Gaillard attempts to comply with Officer Dukes' orders by getting onto his hands and knees, but Officer Dukes forcefully uses his foot to attempt to force Mr. Gaillard all the way to the ground, causing his head to violently hit the pavement. In the 1989 case of Graham versus Connor, the Supreme Court explained that the Fourth Amendment requires a police officer's use of force to be quote-unquote reasonable under the circumstances, and identified 3 factors that courts should consider when determining whether an instance of force was reasonable. These factors include, quote, the severity of the crime at issue, whether the suspect poses an immediate threat to the safety of the officers or others, and whether he is actively resisting arrest or attempting to evade arrest by flight. More recently, in the 2016 case of Armstrong versus Village of Pinehurst, the Fourth Circuit, which includes South Carolina, held that, quote, non-compliance with lawful orders justifies some use of force, but the level of justified force varies based on the risks posed by the resistance. Even purely passive resistance can support the use of some force, but the level of force an individual's resistance will support is dependent on the factual circumstances underlying that resistance. In this situation, the severity of the crime at issue was limited at best, although Officer Dukes claimed to believe that Mr. Gaillard had a gun at the beginning of the interaction. However, at the time Officer Dukes used force against Mr. Gaillard, it was clear that he did not pose an immediate threat, as he had raised both of his empty hands above his head before getting on his hands and knees. Finally, Mr. Gaillard was not resisting arrest in any way. In fact, he was attempting to comply with Officer Dukes' commands when the force was employed. Under these circumstances, it is highly likely that a court would conclude that Officer Dukes' use of force against Mr. Gaillard was neither justified nor reasonable.
Is there a gun back there? By that truck. No gun. You're not listening, dude. Really? You got a gun on you, man?
No, I ain't got no gun.
I'm just
no
asking.
gun. I
Turn back over. Paul, no, you watch him say? He had something.
ain't own no gun.
The door's unlocked, Colin, so.
No, he was right here. Watch him. Go watch him. There it is.
I ain't own no gun.
All right, that's what he had. All right, who's the complainant? All right, get him up.
Put your leg up.
25 cents, got one tank.
Alright. Put your leg that way so you can stand up.
All right, listen, I'm about to help you. Hold on. Hold on. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. All right.
Yep.
Listen.
Yep, they slammed my head
Listen.
down on the cement. Yep.
Go back inside. Go back in the house. Go back in the house. Ain't nobody talking to you.
I got head trauma.
Go back in the house.
Yep. Y'all bust my head down. Yeah, I've been in an accident. Yep. Y'all bust my head down. You threw me down.
I sure did.
And
You wasn't listening.
yeah. No, it ain't. You ain't to throw me down like that. I'm disability.
Okay.
I got head problems. Yep. You throw me down. Yep. You throw me down. You throw me down. Yep. You bust my head down on the cement. Yep. You bust my head.
All right, let me tell you what.
That's forehead.
You bust my head down on the cement.
He was in front of the car when I came up. And he was walking like this. And I thought it was a gun at first. I said, drop the gun, drop the gun, drop the gun, drop the gun. Had him at gunpoint. And he's over here doing something like this.
You slammed my head. You slammed my
What
head
he was doing
down
is
on
putting this up behind the
cement.
tire. So he comes over right here. He got his hands in his pockets. I tell him, let me see your hands, let me see your hands, let me see your
Why you
hands.
bust my head then?
He wasn't listening.
No, it ain't.
He got like this right here.
You grabbed me.
And we went on to the ground.
You bust my head.
Officer Dukes claims that when Mr. Gaillard was walking from behind the white vehicle, he believed that he had a gun and repeatedly told him to drop it. Officer Dukes also alleges that once Mr. Gaillard stepped in front of the vehicle, he had his hands in his pockets and repeatedly ignored requests to show his hands. However, the body cam footage shows that Mr. Gaillard actually had his hands above his head, and that while Officer Dukes repeatedly screamed at Mr. Gaillard to get on the ground, he never asked him to drop a gun or show his hands, likely because Mr. Gaillard's hands were visible throughout the encounter. An incident report filed by Corporal Brandy Smith, who was also on the scene, states that while Mr. Gaillard was walking from the passenger side of the vehicle, he appeared to have his hands in his pockets, but that once he reached the front of the vehicle, he took his hands out of his pockets. Corporal Smith's report also states that Officer Dukes was giving loud verbal commands for Mr. Gaillard to get on the ground, but makes no mention of a gun or any commands to drop a gun or show his hands. It's also important to note that when Officer Dukes was reporting what happened, he did not explain the method he used to take Mr. Gaillard down. Corporal Smith's report claimed that when Mr. Gaillard did not get completely on the ground, Officer Dukes pushed him to the ground by placing his right foot on the middle of Mr. Gaillard's back. However, the incident report filed by Sergeant Aquel Polidor states that Officer Dukes, quote, jumped up and stomped Mr. Gaillard on the back of his neck with his foot. Although it is unclear from the body camera footage whether Officer Dukes' foot landed on Mr. Gaillard's neck or upper back, it is certain that the version of events Officer Dukes explained to his commanding officer did not align with the body camera footage or the reports filed by his colleagues.
Down on the cement. You bust my
Yeah,
forehead.
your head did hit the cement.
Right, cause you bust me down on the cement.
Where's the complainant?
You bust my head down on the cement.
Right here?
You bust my head. You bust my head.
Where's the complainant?
Bust my head down.
We're trying to get the name of the complainant,
You
so.
bust my head.
What are we doing? Get Sam was gonna check him out.
Ain't nobody
There's nothing new out here on the press charges on.
Who called?
I'm not sure. Take him out of cuffs right now. I mean, because that's what we got.
You have to use your force.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Slam my head down.
I didn't know what his intention was.
Force. You need to look for camera.
Alright.
The whole city is wrong. Slam my head down. Bust my forehead. Damn right. I'm gonna pay me for that.
Mayor, I'm gonna take that in the evidence of what he had.
What?
Well, I mean, that's the reasons I did what I did. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm coming from. Because when he was behind the truck, I couldn't see what he was doing, and I didn't know where
There ain't nothing there.
that went. If it was still in his pockets when he come around that car with his hands in his pockets.
These dogs on.
Got it on camera.
Yep, a dog
That's
stick.
fine.
A dog stick.
So he can come out of cuffs? Yeah. Take him out of handcuffs. Yeah, he can come out.
Good, how are you? What's going on?
Officer slammed my forehead down in the cement.
Okay.
In the wrong
You practice this?
Yeah. Listen.
Can I get a card from you?
I don't have one now. We don't have one. They don't give us cards.
Okay, what's your badge number?
1059.
Let me see if I can get my phone. Hold on.
Hold on, we have cards.
All right.
Thank you.
When Mr. Julian asks Officer Dukes for a business card, Officer Dukes claims they are not issued cards by their department. However, Sergeant Polador immediately corrects Officer Dukes, states that they do have cards, and provides Mr. Julian with the information he requested. If it was concluded that Officer Dukes intentionally lied to Mr. Julian in an attempt to avoid accountability for his actions, it is possible that he could be convicted of 2 common law crimes under South Carolina law: obstruction of justice and official misconduct. In the 1997 case of State versus Lyles Gray, a court of appeals in South Carolina upheld convictions for both of these offenses against an officer in the Camden Police Department for her conduct during a criminal investigation. The court explained that, quote, under common law obstruction of justice, it is an offense to do any act which prevents, obstructs, impedes, or hinders the administration of justice, and that, quote, misconduct in office occurs when persons in public office fail to properly and faithfully discharge a duty imposed by law. In this situation, the court concluded that the officer obstructed justice and committed misconduct in office by failing to interview witnesses after her daughter was identified as a suspect, obtaining a false arrest warrant for another suspect, and withholding evidence. While Officer Dukes' lie about whether the department issues identification cards did not rise to the same level of misconduct, given the broad definition of both of these offenses, it is still possible that he could be convicted if charged. However, it is important to note that while some states legally require officers to provide ID to citizens upon request, South Carolina law does not place this obligation on officers. Additionally, many police departments have policies requiring that officers identify themselves, but the Orangeburg Department of Public Safety's policy is not publicly available, and it is unclear whether their policy adheres to any form of officer identification guidelines.
Yeah.
Brandon, he can get his stuff off the car.
Dukes, will you pay back?
1059.
After Mr. Gaillard was treated by EMS, he and Mr. Julian were allowed to leave. 2 days after the incident, Officer Dukes was fired from the Orangeburg Department of Public Safety for violating the department's use of force policies, which, as stated before, are not publicly available. On August 25th, 2021, former Officer Dukes was charged with first-degree assault and battery, which could carry a sentence of up to 10 years.